this 5-minute video.
Being a normal boy is a serious liability in today's classroom.
Huh? First of all, what does a normal boy mean?
Boys tend to be disorganized and restless.
Okay, I am disorganized, so true.
Some have even been known to be noisy and hard to manage.
True.
Sound like any boy you know?
Me.
But increasingly, our schools have little patience for what only a couple of decades ago would have been described as boyishness. As psychologist Michael Thompson has aptly observed, girls' behavior is the gold standard in schools. Boys are treated like defective girls.
Who is saying this? What? No, just like teachers are generally happier when, but also girls can be like straight up when it comes to being mean to other people. Girls win. Guys are just stupid and they like run around and fucking run into poles and whatnot. Girls are like psychologically like accurate with their insults. Boys are treated as defected girls. First of all, I don't know what this like what they're trying to say. That's not true.
It is boyishness. As psychologist Michael Thompson has aptly observed, girls' behavior is the gold standard.
Yeah, girls' behavior is the gold standard because they tend to be like more organized. Like that's a good thing. You want to teach boys to be organized, but you also want to teach them how in ways that doesn't like psychologically drain them.
Standard in schools, boys are treated like defective girls.
That's not true. Boys aren't treated as effective girls.
As a result,
girls also like in a classroom with guys, like you see this at a very young age. I need more water. God damn it. Guys will like always overpower girls when it comes to like being in a classroom, just like because they're loud and they're not as timid, and if they have something to say, they'll usually always say it because they don't. Or also, the prefrontal cortex is like older. My prefrontal cortex won't be fully grown until I'm 25. For a girl, their prefrontal cortex grows, reaches its like final form or is fully grown at 18. Girls just mature faster. I don't know who Michael Thompson is, but there's a kid in my there's a boy who went to my school last year. His name is Michael Thompson. He was yikes. Boys mature later. Their prefrontal cortex, which is like the decision making thing, so part of the brain, will cause them to act without really thinking. I did a lot of that. But also, when girls do that, holy shit. If a girl has like ADD, and if girls who are ADD are caught a lot less often than boys with ADHD. And it's true. Girls with ADHD go diagnosed a lot less of the time because they're the characteristics are a little bit different. I don't have the exact examples. 1 second. Girls. It's like boys are just like bouncing off the wall. Yeah, see? Boys tend to be more physically aggressive, while girls tend to be more verbally aggressive. Often display fewer behavioral problems and less noticeable symptoms. Their difficulties are often overlooked. As a result, they aren't referred. They show different types of symptoms. And the symptoms aren't like running around like biting their fucking teacher. Dude, the Michael Thompson I know is one as well. So they don't like go around like biting their teacher. They like just have trouble focusing. Like my ADD was also not diagnosed until last year because it wasn't like, I'm not like most boys. it like wasn't me like running around. It was just me like not being able to pay attention. I have no idea who Michael Thompson is. I'm gonna look him up. What's up? Sleep well. Okay. Cool. Enjoy. Bye. Psychiatrist, right? He's a psychiatrist. No, fuck it. I don't care enough.
These defective girls are not faring well academically. Compared with girls, boys earn lower grades, they win fewer honors, they're far less likely to go to college.
Yeah.
Boys
Hold up. This is also because
are not faring well academically. To go to college, boys are languishing academically while girls are prospering. In an ever more knowledge-based economy, this is not a recipe for a successful society.
why? Why is it not? What do you mean? Also, girls, like, the reason, like, this disparity is different is because girls weren't allowed to go to college. Like, girls were, like, supposed to go at home. Like, the idea of a girl going to college to, like, what? Learn how to be in business? No. She should be in the kitchen.
Less likely to go to college. Boys are languishing academically while
Like, it's not a war on boys. It's just girls being allowed to, like, get educated.
girls are prospering. In an ever more knowledge-based economy, this is not a recipe for a successful society.
Why? More girls are getting educated.
We need to start thinking about how we can make our grade school classrooms more boy-friendly.
Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Dude, I want to be like a stay-at-home dad.
Well, here are 4 reforms that would make a very good start. 1, turn boys into readers.
Think people aren't trying to do this? Like, this is actually good. Like, this is a good take. Wait, I'm confused.
Classrooms more boy-friendly. Well, here are 4 reforms that would make a very good start. 1, turn boys into readers.
I 100% agree. I wish I read more. I really did. I wish I was into reading a lot more. I read, like, all the Diary of the Wimpy Kid books, but that was
In all age groups, across all ethnic lines, boys score lower than girls on national reading tests. Good reading skills, need I say, are critical to academic and workplace success.
Like, people are... Is she accusing teachers of just, like, not trying to get boys to learn how to read? I'm so confused. Like, they're doing that.
A major study in the UK discovered, not surprisingly, that girls prefer fiction, magazines, and poetry, while boys prefer comics and nonfiction. Boys whose and poetry discovered, not surprisingly, academic and workplace success.
Where's the source?
A major study in the UK discovered, not surprisingly,
A major study in the UK. What's the major study in the UK? What's the major study in the UK? What is facts and sources? I didn't know they had facts and sources. Her sources are herself. Oh, Jesus Christ. Wait, where's the source? Dude, all the sources are herself. Related reading. What? All the sources are herself, dude.
that girls prefer fiction.
It's like, yeah, no, trust me. Just trust me, bro.
Magazines.
I wrote a book about this, trust me.
And poetry, while boys prefer comics and nonfiction. Boys whose eyes glaze over if forced to read Little House on the Prairie may be riveted by the Guinness Book of Records.
Cool.
Yeah, because this is a picture book, bro. I also prefer to read the Guinness Book of World Records because I didn't have to read. I could just, like, see people with long-ass nails and be like, damn, that's fucking whack.
Boys will read if given materials that interest them.
If given picture books.
If you're looking for suggestions for books that have proved irresistible to boys, go to guysread.com.
I'm going to go there. Hold up. Guys. I'll let you know if I've read any of these. Guysread.com. Hold up. Hold up. Site under construction. I'm not seeing any. I'm so confused. Where are the books? All right. Anyways.
2.
Oh, you found the source? Thank you. Reading motivation, the difference between boys and girls. Like, I don't know why we're wasting so much time on this. Reading motivations, Fisher Digital Publications, Educational Masters. Hold up. Same as the different factors that motivate girls and boys to read. Current research claims that boys and girls have different preferences, which is a large cause of the gender gap in schools. All research claims that boys resistant to reading is due to type of text used in schools, primarily fiction. Action research was conducted. There are 5 fifth graders choose 3 texts they would like to read. Found that boys and girls have similar reading preferences, but varies from person to person, not gender. Whoa! Whoa! Would you look at this? Whoa. If this is the right text, it might just be like a summary of the study. Because it does look like a little bit of a like Google Doc. It's person to person, not gender.
Inspire the male imagination.
So the solution isn't give more boy books to boys. It's let boys choose if they want to read boy books or not.
That interest them.
No, this is not true. They need to be given material that they get to choose from. They need to be given like an equal amount of fiction and nonfiction, and they don't need to be. The reason why, this might come as a shock to her, is that, well, it's okay if that wasn't the source. She wouldn't give me the source, so this might come as a shock to her, is that gender norms often damage men. Right? Like forcing, like making it so guys are like into action books and pushing that narrative and that gender norm, surprise, surprise, will lead to guys not wanting to read House on the Prairie because they think it's a little sus of if they did. Like that is a fault of making classrooms boy friendly.
If you're looking for suggestions, 2, inspire the male imagination. Celebrated writing instructor
I do believe that men should be able to more imaginative.
Ralph Fletcher contends that too many teachers take what is called the confessional poet as the classroom ideal. Personal narratives full of emotions and self-disclosure. These are stories girls commonly write. And these are prized, whereas
that's not an issue with teaching. That's an issue with, again, just gender norms.
Action stories describing, say, a skateboard competition or a monster devouring a city, they're not. I recently...
Yeah, because it's impressive when a kid has the amount of like emotional maturity to accurately identify their feelings versus just a boy being like, I saw a monster on TV, so I'm going to write a monster book.
Commonly write. And these are prized, whereas action stories describing, say, a skateboard competition or a monster devouring a city, these are not.
Like original literature is always going to be more impressive than like rewriting what you saw on TV.
I recently read about a 3rd grader in Southern California named Justin who loved science fiction, pirates, and battles. Well, an alarmed teacher summoned his parents to school to discuss the picture the 8-year-old had drawn of a sword fight, which included several decapitated heads. The teacher expressed grave concern about Justin's values.
Yeah, this is accurate. A kid shouldn't be fantasizing about decapitating people.
The boy's father was astonished, not by his son's drawing, which to him was typical boy stuff, but by the teacher's overwrought and female-centered reaction.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What? Why do I keep making it?
But by the teacher's overwrought and him was typical boy stuff.
This shouldn't be typical boy stuff, though. Fantasizing about murder should not be typical boy stuff. That's the issue. Change that, not the
stuff.
Female
but by
teacher,
the teacher's
Karen
overwrought
teacher.
And female-centered reaction. If
Come
boys are constantly subject to disapproval for their interests and enthusiasms, they're likely to become disengaged and lag further behind.
What? No, just...
Enthusiasms,
Sorry,
they're likely to become disengaged and lag further behind.
No, it's not disapproval. It's just like, hey, don't... It's normally to the parents. Many times, my mom's a teacher. She taught like 4th grade and 2nd grade. Oftentimes, the situation will be dealt with the parents only. And it would be like, hey, just... We've noticed that your kid has been writing about some really interesting topics, and they're like, it's great that he's into writing, it's great that he's into reading, but we just want to discuss some of the subject matter, and we're wondering if there's any if this lines up with any of the TV shows he's watching, just because we believe at Enter School Name here that we don't hold these values in our school, and we just want to make sure that he's not getting anything that you guys feel like would be, because a lot of the times the parents don't know. Like, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with this dad, but most of the times the dads are like, oh shit, I did not know our 2nd grader got GTA 5. Oh fuck, I guess he must have been playing with his brother. Like, we gotta make sure they don't do that anymore. Like, that's how it's dealt with. It's not the teacher going, oh little Jimmy, you're drawing hookers being hit by cars. What the fuck's wrong with you, huh? Play too much GTA, huh? Get the fuck out of here. Let Lindsay write her story about female expression.
Our schools need to work with, not against, the kinetic imaginations of boys.
I don't think the natural... I would love a source for this. Like, implying that the natural, like, imagination for guys is, like, murder.
3.
Like, yeah, guys are typically more aggressive, but being like, oh, we should let them be more aggressive, instead of being like, hey, in this society you shouldn't be as aggressive, but here are alternative books you can read.
0 out, 0 tolerance. Boys are nearly 5 times as likely to be expelled from preschool as girls, and in grades K through 12, boys account for nearly 70% of suspensions.
True. This is an issue, though, but a lot of times it's because I will grant her that people do not imagine girls like being able to, I don't know, like they don't imagine girls getting themselves in situations that would lead to suspension. I got suspended.
Now, this is often for minor acts of insubordination and sometimes for entirely innocent behavior. Hardly a week goes by without a news story about a young boy running afoul of the school's zero tolerance policy. Josh Welsh, age 7, was recently sent home from his Maryland school for nibbling off the corners of a strawberry Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun. Josh, like many other boys punished for violating zero tolerance policies, was guilty of nothing more than being a typical 7-year-old boy.
Who fantasized about shooting other boys. Do you see the problem?
4, bring back recess. Believe it or not, recess may soon be a thing of the past. According to research summarized by the Science Daily, Since the 1970s, school children have lost close to 50% of their unstructured outdoor playtime.
I do agree that this
and
is
much-loved
not
games have vanished from schoolyards.
It's gonna be, like tackle football, kill the carrier, which is a very fun game. It's gonna be dodgeball.
In schools throughout the country, games like dodgeball, Red Rover, even tag have all but disappeared.
Yeah, you know what else has been happening since the 70s? Like studies on concussions.
Too damaging to self-esteem or too violent being the...
And also they do promote like a super toxic environment. Like setting up a competitive... Because it's not like boys need to be competitive. It's that boys are put into systems that require competition and like fierce competition. And through that, they're not able to use their emotions well and talk about how to solve problems, like people generally attribute to women. They instead resort to their violent means of throwing balls at people.
The usual
They don't learn to cooperate.
Excuse. One popular classroom guide suggests tug of war be replaced with tug of peace.
I fucking hate liberals.
Boys need to work off their energy. They need to be free to play games they enjoy. And keeping them cooped up and inside all day will not help them learn. As our school...
Like, yeah, kids should be able to go outside and, like, create games. They shouldn't be forced through PE to play, like, structured games of see how hard you can hit your friend. They should be going out and, like, playing in the fucking forest and making sure they're not like killing each other, but like allow them to use their imagination. And if their imagination's like dumb shit like genocide the Indians, which was a game people used to play, it was like native like cowboys versus Indians or something. Forest Game Murder Edition, the Hunger Games. I mean, honestly, I'd love to do that. That'd be much more fun than what we had to do. Like, let them build forts. Let them like do stuff where they can be active and creative and learn to like work together. And if kids end up getting in fights, like they should feel like their options are talking to each other instead of fucking violence.
Schools become more feeling-centered, more competition-free, more sedentary. They move further away from the needs of boys.
No, dude. They're trying to get boys to become more feeling-centered and not have to be like this is like seeing something progressive happen and like seeing like whenever there's progressive reforms that are to some extent this large, people always freak out because right away obviously there's going to be a generation of kids who still have super competitive dads and still have dads who are like, oh, what the fuck, they're taking away dodgeball. What the fuck, when I was a kid, well, blah, 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 obviously, but those generations die out. But it's pointless to waste your time and be like, it's not working, we need to go back.
We need
when all the studies say that this is a good thing.
Reverse the boy-averse trends.
Bars.
Male underachievement is everyone's concern. These are our sons. These are the young men with whom our daughters will build a future. If boys are in trouble, so are we all.
All right. Someone just wants the patriarchy to be good and strong. Yikes. That was so bad.
Christina Hoff Summers at the American Enterprise Institute for Prager University.
Join Prager University.
Shut up, Dennis. Oh boy. Anyways, that was just as good as I thought it would be.